had this listserv, and we would get together occasionally for happy hour to go on bike rides, and I remember one time getting an email that made me very uncomfortable. This is a story I've never told anybody until now, but I feel like I want to share it with our membership 15 years later. But in many ways, I view that as one of the greatest watershed moments for the Tri Club.
I think when we first started, we'd have these ad hoc ragtag happy hours with 10 to 12 people who would attend, and we'd constantly look around the bar to see who looks like a triathlete, because nobody knew what anybody else looked like. So I think from that humble beginning of, just people looking to connect, to have camaraderie in kind of an interesting setting and feel their way through what does it mean to be a triathlete, to what it's become now is it's a pretty big achievement.
2004, I was fully in the club and I trained and things. And I said, I have learned so much in just this year, from all of you who have a lot of experience. I wish I would have known this when I was starting. And there were other people that felt the same way. And so, I think they had already been starting of doing a new triathlete program. And the one thing that I brought that was probably different than a lot of people who were in the club is that I was not a hardcore athlete when I started.
The club was started out with a very small group. There were about 12 people in the club in 2001 or so. And it was a real fun group to be with, because it was kind of like a high-tech startup firm. Because we started out with a very few number of people, but the growth was explosive. Within a few years, we had 1,000 people. So we went from a dozen or so to 1,000 in a short amount of time. So you had all these exciting people, by definition exciting, because they love sports, they love multi-sports, all coming in great waves into the club. So it was an exciting place to be in.
The old days, it was friendlier, I think. It really was friends, and it was very Capitol Hill centric.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was friends, neighbors, and if you were new to the club, it's because somebody else brought you into it, I think. And it's good for the club to grow out of that, but for those that were part of that, was really special. And it's the reason I live on Capitol Hill now, and the reason I moved to DC, I think, more than anything.
The Richmond Duathlon was kind of a fun one, despite the train wreck that was that race.
Literal train wreck.
It was a duathlon in April. It was 90 degrees, but we got a huge group of people from the club to go down there. But literally during the middle of the race, a train blocked the course, and a good number of us actually had to stop and wait for this train because it was a slow-moving freight train.
The NTP program was so structured, and you have the whole group, and you all join together, and you're all doing the same things, and it was great because you just had that camaraderie and support and a lot of resources. And then after that, it was kind of now what do I do? What's next? And so, the natural thing, of course, is to go on to the longer races, more races and longer races, and try to get faster.
I couldn't actually find a firm number on the number of people that we've been able to kind of progress through the different training programs, but I can promise you it's been quite a few, 100 probably. I know just between the Half Ironman and Ironman training programs that I've been coaching since 2012, that I would say that we've probably put a couple hundred through both of those programs, which is exciting.
We are one of the fittest cities in America, and it was unfathomable to me as I was on my way to do an Ironman in Coeur d'Alene that we didn't have a triathlon in DC. I was passing over the Memorial Bridge. I looked down at the river and across to the beautiful roadways, and couldn't imagine that we didn't have a triathlon. That was the genesis of the event.
For a couple of years, there was the DC Triathlon in June that happened for 3 years. We had a second hometown race. Their ITU brought, the Brownlee brothers and brought Andy Potts and all the, Javier Gomez. They've raced on the streets of DC. So we've had an ITU race here in DC. and that was really cool. And there was an age group race associated with it, so we got to race on the same course that, you know, Alistair Brownlee and Javier Gomez raced on, and that was a lot of fun.
And there's no reason that can't happen again.
That's true.
The founding people of DC Triathlon Club have moved on. There's not really anyone that founded the club that's still in the club, but the renewed energy that I hope we can find and help develop to get the club, you know, continue the progress that we've made, energize people and show them that it's a great avenue for the friendships that Brian was describing and the fun. Is something that, you know, I hope everybody can like take away from this event and from other events that we have throughout the year.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be part of the team and watch it grow. And it's really allowed me to kind of blossom as both a coach and an athlete. So I couldn't have done it without you. So happy birthday, and here's to many more years.
Say thanks to everyone who continues to volunteer for the DC Tri Club and continuing to grow it and make it what it is. Everything is basically volunteer run, and it's just for love of triathlon and love of the relationships that people make. So keep that up. I'm glad we're still here 15 years later, and the club is going strong, and hopefully we're here 15 years from now with another gala and maybe reminiscing some more.
I'm really excited about where the club has come. I'm really excited by the kind of leadership we've seen come through the ranks, people who have worked their way from the NTP program all the way up to board positions, and I'm really hopeful for the club. I think it's done great things for the sport of triathlon, and it's done a lot of great things for the lives of a lot of athletes in this area. As excited as I am for where it's come in the last 15 years, I'm really excited about where it's going in the next 15. So I look forward to talking to you again in 15 years.
Happy birthday, DC Triathlon Club.
Happy birthday, DC Tri!
Reporting live from Kona, Hawaii, we want to wish you, DC Tri, a happy anniversary.
Happy 30th anniversary!
Happy 30th anniversary!
Yay!
Happy birthday! 15 more years!
Thank you.
Yeah.